Good morning, morning Dan, morning Rungemer, Everett, Philip, Allen. Good morning, everybody else. If you want to chat with me like these fine folks that are already chatting with me, all you got to do, hit the button right down here, over here. Right down there is that little green overlay box. Just hit that, become a subscriber to the channel, and a few seconds later, you can chat with me. No other requirements to chat on the live stream. Now, if you want to attend 30 minutes of awesome and you want to get alert for that, you got to hit the bell with the little doodads and get the alerts, all notifications on this channel. That way, you know when I go live for 30 minutes of awesome, where I take your request for at least 30 minutes, coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern this evening. Please let me know if the mic is coming in a little hot. I had a report of that yesterday and trying to get it fixed. Just one guy. I don't actually hear the audio going out, and freaking software updates keep changing all the settings. Anyway, yeah. So just give me feedback on that too. So, alrighty, what do we got cooking? Well, FOMC meeting starts today, and look at the pre-market. The everything's a little sour here. So, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Remember, I may never get another prediction right ever again, because past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation here, informational, educational, and fun. Hope you have fun. Hope you get a little entertainment. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument or anything else out there. If you desire that personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. So, that all out of the way, we have the calendar. And this morning, we were getting some 51st Great White Hope, 51st state news here. The Canadian CPI, median CPI, trim CPI. And then we got housing permits and housing starts. And then the rest of the day, fairly benign on the economic news front. Fairly benign. Now, we're just going to kind of go into radio silence until 2 p.m. tomorrow. That's the time that you need to be aware. You need to be prepared for whatever the market has set up for the FOMC. Now, there is the possibility that we drop out today, we invalidate the setup for the lower, and we set up a potential pop tomorrow. It's a potential. But the cooking prevalent pattern on the chart is a setup to go lower. It's been cooking for, gosh, over a month now. And it could be a doozy, all right? Let's talk about it. Let's cover it. Let's look at it. So I think everybody should be aware by now. We got to stay below these two highs. If we break through those highs, it changes things to the upside. But we now have something cooking on the downside here. If we push a little lower, I'll show it to you on the futures. If we push a bit lower, we could, this whole thing could be a corrective move down, and we could see a corrective move up again before we roll over. So let's go look at it. Let's look down in the futures a little bit. So right now, we have this pattern cooking right here. We've had a nice 5-wave down. That looks like a wave 1. We had this swift move up yesterday, and then a retrace. That looks like it was an A wave and an A wave. And overnight action was a drift up, a drift lower in a 3-wave fashion, and a drift up for a C wave. And that makes a B wave in there. Corrective, overlapping, choppy, nasty overnight action. Now, this morning, getting a C wave down. That is looking pretty spicy there. And we want to see this hold this 4487 area, really, ideally. Now, we could push, B waves are allowed to push past the start. So B wave could push down to 4480, but here's the deal. If we get a push on down to 4470, this starts tipping the odds that this whole move down is complete, and we're not going to get this C wave. We're actually going to get a bigger C wave that goes up higher than what we had right over here. Higher than this, potentially higher than this, and it could match this one right here. Could match this one right off of whatever low we make. Could come up right in the vicinity of that high. And then lead to a bigger down. Now, interestingly enough, this also corresponds to the pattern that's present here with the 4 hour. And we bounced off the 4 hour, we came up, retrace, potentially push out, fail at the prior high, and then come down to that daily roadmap line. All right. So a couple different potential paths cooking in the charts right now. And I just wanted to throw that out there. So this is the primary path though right now. If we hold this, we rally up to here. If we're sitting up in this vicinity between 45, really anywhere higher than this, when we do the FOMC announcement tomorrow, watch out below. We are set up for a massive drop. Anywhere above this A satisfies this pattern. Right now, ideally, we'd be up here around 45.26, possibly 45.35. Could go a little higher than that even. But if we're in that vicinity, the reaction to the FOMC is probably going to be down. And it's going to be down, 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 down. So, there you go. Not real. I mean, Alan says, morning, JT. Oil looking to break 95 at the open. I mean, let's look at the target here in just a minute. But hello, where was the target? The big target circle, right at 94.95 area. So nothing really changed there. All right. So that's S&P. Very cautious. The big event of the week is tomorrow. So set that, right there. Protect profits. I've actually reduced a lot of things I was profitable in. Depending on what happens in the next 24 plus hours of the market, I may change up my positioning. But right now, I have an order for a bear debit spread on in the market, looking for that pop that I was talking about there on ES. I'm looking for this move up right here. I'm going to get into that. Now, if we are to do this more bearish thing, immediate bearish thing right here today, then I'll probably cancel that order because I don't really want to get into it if we get down in here. So that's kind of my outline. All right. That's my outline for it. And then you may be like, what bearish spread? Well, it's in Discord. It's in the free channel for the S&P 500 SPY. And if we get up here in the FOMC, we're likely to go down to that 4,300 level. So that's where it's kind of where I'm positioned. So I'm risking one to make potentially 2, 3, 4, maybe up to 4 times my money on that drop. And it's quite possible. I mean, this is one of those high probability setups right here. If it threads the needle and finishes out the pattern, it is a power move down. A wave 3 of 3 down is going to be swift and powerful. I just want everybody to know it's sitting on the chart right now. Very high probability, unless we invalidate it in some way somehow. So there you go. S&P 500, and I need to refresh this really quickly. There we go. S&P still looks like we could see the retrace here and bigger drop. I mean, nothing's changed on that daily chart. S5FI, nothing changed on this chart. Still looking like we may go for that move lower. ES, I just talked about. Looking like, we'll see what happens here as we get into the open. Already pushing 44.90. Yeah, that's right where the prior low was. I made that chart like 20 minutes ago. So new data comes in all the time. I can't update it as live as it happens. All right, and this data is delayed here. So Nasdaq, kind of the same situation as S&P. Russell, this is IWM, looking like that Head and Shoulders. It pretty much completed that. Now, does it break the neckline or does it reject it? This is the big question. And some other people started picking this up too. I saw this put out in a couple different places yesterday. Even IBD picked it up. So watch out right here. Watch out, watch out. This can lead to a big swift move down. We've seen this play out. FNGU was the one we most recently saw this play out. It was right here, head and shoulders, and it played out perfectly right to the target. Looks like it didn't break out on the upside for this one so far. So still working on the shoulder over here. Can it break out, or does it fail the pattern and break down? Not sure yet. Not sure. Little rogue candle sitting out there. Oil. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's probably going to find resistance at that prior high. We did that before. And we can do it again. Look, we topped out in this zone right here. We topped out back in August. We topped out in October. We topped out in November. All in the vicinity of this box right here. Drag it on across. Right there. Coming up 92.36. Probably going to push right up in the box. Watch out for a rejection off of that. Watch out, watch out. We didn't do this. I mean, hey. I started a small short position on UCO, looking for the bounce off of that. It was sitting at break even yesterday. It's probably a little underwater after the open this morning. Just be careful. We can get a big swift pullback, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit. Not one bit. That target's been on there for weeks. Somebody can comment how long you think that's been on there. It's been on there quite a while. And that was the high probability target. I gave up at the 1618. Actually, I think I gave up at the just above the 1272. I rode that up, made crazy good profit, and yeah, that was the high probability thing. So there you go. It's working out. Now, what happens after this? After we get a pullback, if we pull back, we could hold that right there, that prior move. If we do that pullback, that kind of sets it up. We could see like $150 oil. Maybe like, no way. No way. Look. 150, possibly $170 oil. Yes way. So this thing, if you just wait for it to cook, wait for it to set up, there's lots more opportunity up here. Another $50 to $70 on the upside. All right. Just wait for your entry. Don't get chopped up. All right. I stepped off early. I made profit. Am I upset I missed anything? No. Like, good for you if you hold on. I mean, I put the target right there. I was like, hey, the money's pretty dang good. I'm going to take it. Why keep my risk on? So there you go. Right there. Beautiful potential. And if the market pulls back, oil might go with it. So, yeah, win's a win. Don't second guess yourself. No FOMO. No debates. So far, gold continuing that triangle watermelon seed squeeze bullcrap. All right. When we break out of a watermelon seed squeeze, it's hard to predict where it goes. I mean, it's like squeezing it. You ever squeeze that slimy watermelon seed? It's hard to predict exactly where it goes. I mean, some people are good at it, I guess, but a lot of times if you just squeeze it flat, it can go that way, up. I mean, who knows? I mean, we're not going back in time. We're not going forward. We're going forward in time, but are we going up? Are we going down? I don't know. We'll see. There's the market open. Heard the bell. Bitcoin continuing to try to break above this consolidation, or this resistance, I guess you would call it at this point, where we've rejected. Yesterday we came up and rejected the roadmap line. Today, pushing up in. If we can get above it, that's positive. Remember, after those 3 green days in a row, 2 weeks of bullishness, 2 weeks. That's what we usually see, at least. It can go longer. It could be shorter. It could not be bullish at all at the end of the 2 weeks. Just typically, 80% of the time, we see a bullish move. Right there. Looking pretty good. That has put several Bitcoin-related names, miners and holders, on the list today. We'll talk about them. Ethereum, not quite as bullish. Not quite. Just not participating to the level that Bitcoin is. It's interesting. Still stuck in that consolidation. We may see one more final flush out on Ethereum. Would not surprise me at all right now. This was enough to satisfy it, but we may see one more flush. Could be in the cards. Dollar is consolidating above and probably going to continue that sloppy march right up in here at this point. That's the primary expectation, would be a march right up into that area. Sizable, I guess this is a payment, whatever you call it. Pay later, buy now, pay later. Nice pop. And that's some choppy action on a chart. Yeah, not much to mess with there. It's like they're reviving it from the dead. Down here, 20 cents, that was pretty much dead. And I would be extremely careful messing with this. Toyota, beautiful setup right there. All-time highs right up here. Watch for rejection. But that's probably the next target right up in that box. 200. SMCI getting a little bounce pre-market. Zoom it up and look. And a little bounce, but still my expectation is down here to the roadmap line. That'd just be the bottom of the box at this point. They're almost coming together. By the time we get there, it may be together. Could take it right out like this. I would expect a touch, if not a full retest. Just looks likely. I mean, it just does. Like, it's the pattern I watch. It's the pattern I look for. It's the pattern that occurs over and over. MSTR getting a little pop pre-market, but unable to break out so far. Just no conviction in Bitcoin and crypto at this point. Mara showing a little down, even in the face of Bitcoin being up 1%. This is shorts. This constantly makes the S3 top shorts list. Be careful. All right. I say it all the time. Be careful. But if you're shorting, be careful, because whenever the shorts take a misstep, if they let it get out of control just a little bit, this thing can rip. And it's got a measured bounce set up right now that sets this thing up for a massive potential move if it gets going. Above this level is really kind of the key. Got to get back above 14. You're like, JT, that's a long way up. Yeah, it's a long way up, but that's the numbers. All right. Riot right now, also potential measured bounce. Getting a little chop down below. BTBT, my pick. It's on the way up already. Watch for a breakout above the roadmap line. Back above 280. It's game on. Huge potential right there. Huge potential. CFFE. I mean, that's just going to be a SPAC deal. Ridiculous SPAC deal. And the history of SPAC deals, like most of them, come right back down and retest the pre-SPAC price, or the pre-announcement price, if not going lower. So be careful on that one. along with all the others. APLS, that one's probably coming up to the roadmap line, would be my guess, but that looks like a horrible dumpster fire of a pattern. Let's talk about CVNA real quick. Some people mistaken about my comments. So this company right here, look how much money they lose. All right. Ridiculous amounts of money. Ridiculous amounts of money. Ridiculous amounts of money. They lose a ton of money in an environment where money is expensive. Right? Look. All indications are that they are losing more money as they grow. This is not a case where, oh, they can grow past their money losses. Come on now. Let's be reasonable about this. Interest rates are going higher. People are buying less cars. But people have to have cars. Okay. Yeah, but they're having to borrow money to be able to sell you used cars. They lose money doing that. They haven't, they're not even, turning it around here. They're growing and losing more money. This is not like the next Amazon or something like that. You can make money on it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that my comments about it being a dumpster fire are not related to the ability to make money or not make money. The company is a dumpster fire. All right. Look at that. Earnings per share, negative $12 a share. I mean, good gosh, that's a lot of money out the door. That's like, take your money, set it on fire. All right. Just be careful. Literally be careful. This thing can plummet right back down. I mean, look how fast. Look how fast it did that. Can do that right there and be back at $3. Could it break out? Sure. Is it sitting there right at resistance right now? You betcha. Do I expect it to break out? Not at this time. Not really. Just be careful, please. All right. I don't like to touch things that burn. It's a hot stove. And we watched it all come crashing down before. Even that's getting a little cooked out on that pattern. That's a classic. If that's a corrective move, that's classic. That looks pretty much like we could go lower low at this point. It can take it all the way back and then some. JT, $50 companies can't go can't go bankrupt. You know what? They could announce bankruptcy tomorrow. And yeah. I'm just saying, yeah, who's trading it? Lots of people are trading it. I mean, this is traders. It's going to be a lot of traders. How many people, now, if this is a great stock, how many people do you know that have bought a car from Carvana? I know nobody. CarMax, I know lots of people. I haven't even seen a Carvana truck in months. So, next one up, AVGR. Reverse split. Be careful. Those are bearish. We're under the roadmap line. Be careful there. All right. And how many of your friends know people that have bought Carvana? When we look at the weekly, look. Weekly pattern, still bearish, resistance right there at 82. Can bounce right off of that and go lower. Yeah, next door neighbor. All right. So one. I got three in the chat. AVGR. Looks like a hot pile of garbage. Probably going lower. Be careful. That's medical biotech stuff. Doesn't always follow the patterns. FDA approvals. Royal Caribbean probably coming down to the roadmap line. It does have a little bit of support right here if it can turn up. Otherwise, it may drift down here to the roadmap line. They lose to, well, I think they turned it around. CCL still having trouble pulling money out of their hat. Still, maybe CCL can turn it into profit next quarter. They've been having a lot of trouble. So, looks like they may come on down to the roadmap line down here. APOG, nice little pop. Potentially trying to break out here. It's had a little trouble doing it. Little trouble. Found a lot of resistance at that prior high. Couldn't do it. Is this the one? I don't know, maybe. The upside target at this point should have a little bit of resistance at 52, then possibly 57. DE. Oh, just can't stay above that trend line. Started this trend line back here in November of last year. Tried to break out, couldn't do it. At this point, that could be a higher low and lead to a breakout. Watch the key level to watch right here around 430. If we can get above 430 this next attempt, it looks like we may go on up to 467. TDOC. My gosh, that looks like a dangerous chart right there. What was the other one? VI. I was trying to remember the VIN. No. What's the car? There's that crazy car one that went all the way up and then came right back down. It means so much to me, I don't remember it at the moment. And that one, CCG. That can't be the right CCG. It's going to be that one. It went to Apple. That's weird. Weird. That should be the one that, that's weird. It links to Apple. Weird. Anyway. CBOE. Look at that. Nice big potential breakout there. She's rocking. She was dipping pre-market. Now she's rocking. That's CBOE. That's the Chicago Board of Options Exchange right there. That's when you trade options, you're making these people money. I would say 0-day options have been pretty dang popular and profitable. That's what I would say. That high, that low, and may find resistance at 160. Had a little trouble with the prior high, popped right up, sitting right there at the 1272, 160, next area up. Yeah, VFS. There it is, VinFast. I knew Vin something. Right back to the roadmap line. Watch out for it to break down. Could be a heartbreaker. I saw like investors lose billions as VinFast drops from 60 down to 15. You know, these are like hot stove items. You know, can be fun to trade them. Can make a lot of money fast. You can lose a lot of money fast, or you know, if you're swooped enough to be short, make a bunch of money on the way up and back down. It's not my game. It's just not. I like stuff like the oil play. You sit around, you wait for it. The shot play made 15,000%. How many people you know made 15,000% on Carvana or possibly, you know, VinFast? I mean, there's probably some people out there, but ARM already down below the IPO price. Probably going lower. Be careful. Can't offer a ton of target here, but 52, possibly 47, possibly on down the fib line. May get a bounce at 52, possibly 47. Not really enough to do much with, but if you were one that wanted to try to figure out something, there's your extension. Dip down here, retrace, dip down here, see what's going on. Could just keep on going down the fib ladder. So there you go. All right, you want to make requests? 30 MA, 30 minutes of awesome is this evening, 5 p.m. CAMT, probably coming down to the roadmap line sooner or later. S-Bucks. Oh. Goose, I told you, my man. Told you we had to finish up this corrective. Maybe a lower low. Goose was telling me, maybe they can turn it around since the CEO is moving on. But looks like they're going to go lower low first. That's a dumpster fire of a stock pattern right there. Dumpster fire of a chart. Not a company, but just a chart. Carvana is a dumpster fire of a company, but the chart pattern, it's okay. Starbucks, dumpster fire of a chart pattern. Company's fine. They sell a bunch of $9 coffee, but Square, another dumpster fire of a chart pattern. Continuing down. Target down here around 40 at this point. Watch out below. All right. Bias for the day. Extreme caution. We could break out. We could break down. I don't have the ability to pre-predict what we're going to do at the moment. Looks like we poked a little bit lower. That does not negate the potential rally up here and turn down at the FOMC tomorrow. We have not negated that yet. This is a be freaking careful chart right here. Be very careful. Very, very, very careful. All right. I'll be back at 5. I'll probably have an update on the S&P's action today. And we'll see you. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell with the notifications. And like I said, 5 p.m. Take your request for at least 30 minutes. Give you a market update. Give you give you my FOMC predictions. As we only have a few hours left of market time before the FOMC after tonight. So, see you later. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe out there. The account you save may be your own. Remember, it's not being wrong that costs you the money. It's staying wrong. Be flexible. All right? Don't lock into one thought. Be flexible in the face of new information. Be willing to make new decisions.